What's going on YouTube? I'm Bill from Maksim Outdoors. This week I'm at Mount Davis, the highest point of Pennsylvania. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this episode. All right, everybody, welcome to this episode of Maksim Outdoors. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the last few weeks. Went to a couple different states, went through Michigan, Ohio, and Louisiana. But now we're back here in beautiful Pennsylvania, and this is going to be high point number 2. That's right, we're here in the Laurel Highlands, Mount Davis, Somerset County. All right, guys, well, I decided to do a little short 2-mile trail down to the picnic area. This is the High Point Trail, located here in Forbes State Forest, right outside of the highest point of Pennsylvania, Mount Davis. So believe it or not, Mount Davis actually wasn't the high point of Pennsylvania until 1921. Blue Knob, which is also a state park out in eastern Pennsylvania, right near the town of Blue Knob, was considered the highest point of Pennsylvania until 1921, until some guys got together and figured out that Mount Davis was actually almost 100 feet taller than Blue Knob. So what better way to celebrate a high point? They ended up having a big party up on the mountain. People from all over Pennsylvania came and celebrated. I think a couple hundred people actually showed up, and they had a nice little celebration, deeming this the highest point of Pennsylvania, which I thought was pretty cool. There was a house that was actually built on top of the mountain. You can look up and you can look it up online and see some old pictures of it. But in I think it was like 1938, they declared, or maybe it was 1932, in the 1930s some point, they said, hey, you know what, we should build a an observation tower at the top of Mount Davis, and a year or two later it was done. Mount Davis was actually named after an early settler by the name of John Davis. He was a local settler, naturalist. He loved the area, and he was actually a Civil War veteran as well. So in 1921, a lot of this area was bought up by the state and made into a natural area that we know now as Forbes State Forest. So I did find two viewpoints just a couple miles away from here that I'm pretty excited to check out, as well as a pretty unique area known as Bachmann Rocks. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it's got a pretty crazy history. And the two other viewpoints look pretty awesome. Like I said, I've never seen them before, but this is going to be a little bit of a different episode. Maybe not so much of a hiking episode, but some cool views and whatnot. So stay tuned to see that. Bachmann Rocks and two cool viewpoints coming up. So here is the end of the trail. You can see a nice little picnic area here, High Point Trail. But in my opinion, if you've never done this before, to get the full experience, I'd find this picnic area on a map, park down here, and hike opposite of what I just did. Then you could say you hiked to the high point rather than driving up and parking at it. But like I said, I think Bachmann Rocks is right around this corner here. All right, so here we are on, I guess we'll just call this the Bachmann Rocks Trail. As you can see, very nicely well-maintained, handicap accessible trail. So this has a bit of a creepy, weird history here. All right, here we are at Bachmann Rocks. Has a pretty sinister past here. The sign didn't say what year it happened, but Henry Bachmann, a local cattle farmer, was out in this area many years ago when this was all full of local settlers, probably in the early 1900s, maybe even late 1800s. Henry's son August was helping him with the cattle, and a couple cattle got loose and lost. Henry was a ill-tempered man, as the sign reads, and was not too happy with his son August. He picked up a stick laying next to him and hit August over the head with it, which knocked August out. So Henry basically thought that he murdered his son and threw him into one of these crevices here. A couple days later, a couple hours later, I'm not really sure, Henry came back to look for his son, and little August was gone, never to be seen again. So nobody really knows what happened to August. Nobody knows, maybe a wild animal got him, or he got up and walked away. But Henry was later convicted for murder and locked up. So a little bit of eerie past here in Forbes State Forest. But you see a lot of these outcroppings up in this area. There's Bachmann rocks like I'm at right now, wolf rocks, which I think we're gonna check out later today, beam rocks, you name it. There's all kinds of these pretty interesting rock outcroppings, but definitely worth coming out here and checking this out. You can see, you know, I mean, it is a far drop. If you go down there, good luck getting out. But, all right, so like I said, very short hike, if you want to call it that. Only a couple, maybe a minute walk from the parking area, and then you come to this very old, rusty fire tower that was built, I think, back in the 1930s. It's around 50 foot high, but you get some pretty cool views at the top. This isn't a typical mountain where you think you get all kinds of awesome views. As you can see, it's very wooded, but we're gonna head over here and I'll show you the actual high point of Pennsylvania, and it's actually on top of this rock here. So if you actually want to say you're the highest person in Pennsylvania naturally, because that isn't natural, well, this is where you want to go. It's right there. Highest point of Pennsylvania. All right, gonna head up the fire tower here. Give you guys a little view at the top. And here we are at the top of Mount Davis. Got some awesome cloud action going on down that way. And we're just a couple minutes away from the Maryland border. But yeah, pretty high above the tree line here. See my GoPro all the way down there. But yeah, we're actually, this is the Appalachian Mountains, obviously, but this part of the Appalachians is known as the Alleghenies. And the Alleghenies go through Maryland and West Virginia as well. So if we look down south, Hoy Crest, the highest point of Maryland, is down there somewhere, and the Alleghenies keep rolling through. I believe Spruce Knob, the highest point of West Virginia, is also part of the Alleghenies, but it's just one of many mountain chains that roll through Pennsylvania, and just another part of the Appalachians. So pretty cool. I love those clouds over there. I always get a kick out of this pine tree here. It seems like it's actually higher than this fire tower, so maybe that pine tree is actually the highest natural spot in Pennsylvania. And then you see some of the windmills over there in Somerset. But they also have this cool little topographic map here that I don't know, it's a little hard to read, but you can see Meadow Mountain, Maryland is straight ahead there. That's probably this little hump right there. So just 10 miles ahead of us is Maryland. All right, well, one last look here at the top of the observation tower here at Mount Davis. Gonna head down and head back to the truck and try to find 2 or 3 observation points. So the first one we're gonna look for is known as Wolf Rocks Overlook, and that's gonna be the first stop. So hopefully I find these. Hopefully it's not too hard to find these. I guess a couple of them are back dirt roads, but yeah, let's check it out together. All right, guys, made it to the next stop. This is known as High Point Lake Overlook. As you can see, I already got the time lapse going, but a very scenic, open area here that you can stop and take a seat at. And there's High Point Lake there, just over the hillside. And in just a few minutes, maybe a few hours, we'll actually be all the way down there looking up at the mountain. You can see a couple boats and whatnot out down there, but pretty cool overlook. And after this, we're going to be heading to, I think it's called Buckeye Camp Overlook. All right, well, this observation point wasn't exactly where or how I thought it was going to be. Went down the road it was supposed to be and basically ended up at a dead end. There's a little parking area, which I'm guessing is going to take me to this viewpoint, hopefully. But right now I'm kind of on this trail in the middle of nowhere. So hopefully, cross my fingers, at the end of this trail is going to be an awesome viewpoint. But all right, well, the search for the viewpoints has paid off here. As you can see right now, I'm looking at Deer Valley Lake. So this is Bucky Overlook, and like I said, we're looking at Deer Valley Lake. Worth it, in my opinion. A little bit of graffiti, but it does look like they tried to clean this area up. But pretty similar to Bachmann rocks, a lot of deep crevices and whatnot, but very cool area that I didn't even know existed until a week ago. So I got one more stop after this. Going to head down to High Point Lake and wrap up the video, but hopefully you guys are enjoying all these spectacular views from up here at Mount Davis. Just goes to show you, Mount Davis has a lot to offer, and if you do come up to this area, make sure you check out Bucky Overlook. Keep wanting to call it Buckeye Overlook, it's Bucky Overlook. Alrighty, well, last stop of the day. So officially made it here to High Point Lake. And just a couple hours ago, we were at the very top of Mount Davis up there. And looking down at this lake at one point. 37 foot deep, made in 1965 after Glade Run was dammed. But a very, very nice lake here to take a boat out on. Yeah, just a quick look at High Point Lake before I head out of here for the day. This is the last stop, but hopefully you guys all enjoyed this episode from the Mount Davis area. But yeah, one last look at beautiful Mount Davis up there. If you were to measure from the base here all the way to the tippy top of the mountain there, it's 653 feet, I believe, and that's what you call prominence. So 653 feet of prominence right there, and yeah, pretty cool to see the mountain from the bottom here. Two boat launches, one on this side and one over here, but nice little lake to come out in the summertime, fall time, you name it. But all right, this will be the end of the video, so we'll catch you next week from another local state park here in Pennsylvania. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up this episode of Maksim Outdoors from the beautiful Mount Davis area up here in the Laurel Highlands. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now. Like 92% of my viewers aren't even subscribed. So help me out by just hitting that button. It only takes 2 seconds. And don't forget to leave me a comment. Leave me a like or two. Go check out some of my old videos. And if you want to see where I'm heading next week, head on over to Instagram and follow me at Maksim Outdoors on there. So I'll see you next week back in the beautiful state of Pennsylvania. See you next week, guys.